have invited me to this beautiful meeting of such seekers who look so truthful. When I read about Unity Church and what they were doing, I felt this is the place where it is going to trigger first. Because your founder himself was a realized soul. He was a realized soul, but perhaps he did not realize that others were not realized up to his level. And whatever he talked was the truth, nothing but the truth. But you cannot imagine about truth. You have to become. Becoming is the main point. Unless and until you become the truth, whatever you talk about, it becomes talk, talk, talk. And we have had talks after talks after talks. Now the time has come for us to become. What do we become? What do we have to expect after self-realization? As he has told you, I would like to tell you this way, that we have heard that God's love is all-pervading. The divine love is an all-pervading energy. We have heard about it, we have read about it. Now what happens to us, that we are awakened in such a manner that we started feeling that power around. Our sensitivity or our awareness becomes so enlightened that we start feeling that divine power around us. It exists. For example, if I say there is big music going on here and big plays and dramas going on here, you won't believe. Till I put a television here and say, now see for yourself. In the same way, this all-pervading power is still imaginary for us, or we can say is not our own experience. Still people believed it because it was told by great people, great incarnations like Christ. But what it means, what it is, we have not felt it. And that's the first thing that should happen to you, is to feel that. That means our feeling is not so much yet developed, or is not enlightened, or is not evolved to that extent that we can feel it. In our evolution, say from animals to this stage, how many feelings we have developed which the animals don't have? For example, if you want to take an animal through a dirty lane, he doesn't feel any dirt or filth or doesn't smell anything. He just walks through. Take any horse or any dog, they have no problems. But for human beings to go through that will be an impossibility. Our feelings, experiencing power, is so much developed that we can feel the beauty, we can feel the colors, we can see the beauty of this place. They cannot feel it. But now the feeling that has to come to us is the feeling of that all-pervading power, the divine power, which in Sanskrit is called as Brahma. That divine power is the desire of God. God desired because He loved us. He is complete. He need not have created us at all. What was the need for Him to create us? But His love and His compassion. And He wanted to give His compassion, to express His compassion. And that's why He created us, with what care and with what delicacy. That one has to just see. We take ourselves for granted, our evolution for granted, everything for granted. As he said that you did not pay anything to become human beings. You did not pay for anything. For example, every day you see the flowers becoming fruits. How much do you pay to the tree for it? You see a seed sprouting. How much do you pay to the seed for getting sprouted? It's also spontaneous, it's living. And we are talking here about the living God who lives, who does all the living things. What do? We do nothing. We do just dead work. Like something is dead, supposing a tree is dead, we make a chair, we think, oh, we have made a chair. It's a dead from the dead. We have not done something living so far. Have we been able to convert even one flower into a fruit? And these thousands and thousands and billions of things are happening around us. That's the work of the living God. And also this evolution, that has to go to its epitome now, to its last stage, that is your self-realization. Supposing I start collecting some nuts and bolts and start collecting some sort of a machinery, you will say what this machinery is meant for. Why are you making it? Why this evolution? Why did we evolve to this stage of a human being? What was the need? What was the purpose? Anybody would ask why? Why there should be a machine made like this? And that question is not asked by scientists so far. Because they have no answer for it. They are very honest. Because they have no answer for the why, they don't ask that question. Whatever is presented to them, they see it and say this is it, this is so. Now to get to God, you don't have to go to Saturn or don't have to go to moon. It's within you. He is within you, expressed within you in your heart as spirit. It's all written in the Bible. I mean, I'm not telling something new. Christ has said you are to be born again. When I came 9 years back in America, I gave speeches where I said you are to be born again. And it's a happening, it's a becoming, should happen, it's actualization. It's a real baptism that you should feel the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost coming out of your head. It's actually, it should happen to you. So they took you over and they said, all right, we are born again. Again, self-certification is all certifying yourself. We are born again, we are this, we are that. You are nothing but your spirit. And you have to become the spirit. Unless and until you have become it, all this certificate is not going to help you, nor you are going to feel satisfied because you are seekers. You are a special category of people born on this earth at this special time. This is a very special time. It's an extremely special because this is the blossom time and this is the last judgment. Only through Kundalini awakening you can judge yourself. Otherwise there is no way of finding out. Because when the Kundalini awakens, which is settled down here in the triangular bone, then your centers get awakened. When they get awakened, you get this special sensitivity even on your fingertips. Now these 5 fingers, 6th and 7th, all of them get enlightened. Once they get enlightened, you can feel not only the all-pervading power, but you become, as he said, the collective conscious being. You become. Again I say you become. It's not that I say we are all brothers and sisters, we must love each other. It's not that way, but you just become. Means you start feeling the another person within yourself. So much so I was coming to Houston. And there's an Indian Sir Yogini who has come from India. And she told me, Mother, why the heart is catching so much in Houston? I said, do you know there are heart specialists here who transplant heart, who have got also there's Dr. Kuri who is doing operations on the heart patients. And there must be many heart patients in this place and that's why you are catching on the heart. And she said, it has become stiff, my finger is. I said, all right, there are mantras by which you can put it right. But it affects everyone and everyone can feel it within themselves. You become the other person. Like people say, Mother, you take money or what? I say, this is something one should understand, that you are part and parcel of my being. I can feel you within myself. Now supposing my finger is something wrong with my finger, if I try to help it, am I helping anybody other? Who is the other? Who is the other person? That's the thing, is the real unity, is the complete integration of being. When you feel everyone within yourself, you start feeling them on your fingers. You start feeling yourself also within yourself, trying to know what's wrong with you. But in that case, you don't feel bad. You don't feel bad at all that you have this problem or that problem because you are no more involved. Today, I'm just introducing this method which I call as Sahaja Yoga. Sahaja. Saha means with, Ja means born. Spontaneous yoga means it is an inborn right of every seeker to get this union. Now today it has reached the stage of Mahayoga, means thousands can get realization. It's a fact, it's a truth. People can get it. There's nothing so difficult, you see, when the blossom time comes. How many flowers become fruits? In the beginning, maybe only one flower or two flowers. But when the blossom time comes, people have to see that. And in the same way, you have to face that a time has to come where thousands must get realization, millions must get it, billions must get it. As soon as possible, it is for you, please try to spread this message that you are to become the Spirit. This is a very important point which we miss. For example, say our machine is not yet connected. Say a television is not connected. What's the use of moving the knobs? You won't get anything. On the contrary, you may spoil the television. Or say a telephone. When we pray to God also, we telephone without connection. We have to have the connection. That's very important, and that's what it was when Christ said that you are to be born again. As it is, you know, Christ was not allowed to live more than 3.5 years in that horrible country. He was crucified for saying what? He told the truth. He just told the truth that you have to become the Spirit, which is a fact. You have to become the Spirit. I mean, it's such a simple thing to understand that we have not yet found out our absolute. We do not know why are we here, what is our absolute sense. Unless and until you find your absolute, you live in relativity. You don't know whether this person is right or that person is right, whether he is a saint or he is a satanic force, or what sort of vibrations he has got. Even to such an extent that I was surprised in Spain that some people told us that for us, vibrations means heat. I said any machine which it goes out creates heat. Friction, it creates heat. How did you believe that it is heat? They said you feel very heated up. To understand one thing mentally is different than to understand it spiritually. Spiritually means you become the Spirit, the absolute. There is no other opinion about it. For example, there is a gentleman sitting here, and you get 10 children who are realized souls. There are many realized souls these days born in America. I must tell you, many children are born realized. And those children, if you put them together and ask them what's wrong with this person, they will all raise this finger saying this is the finger, that's burning. It's subjective. Just they say this is the finger that's burning. Even if you close their eyes, they'll say the same thing. There cannot be two opinions about that person, and that means he's suffering from the trouble that is in this center called as cervical plexus. You see, this one in Sanskrit is called as Vishuddhi Chakra. But in the gross, it manifests the cervical plexus. Now, in the universe, America is placed at this point. It's a very important point because it has got 16 subplexuses. And you will be amazed that the Saturn is the body of this plexus, Saturn. And now they have discovered that it has got 16 planets and one that was caught up by them. Even the ring and all that is already told about this. So all these things they are finding out was found out long time back and was described from a subtler level. Now this is a very, very important thing one has to know, that America itself, God has created with a special purpose. Abraham Lincoln and all these people, great people who talked about the fraternity and the collectivity and all that. Because this is the center of collectivity. This is the center where people feel the collectivity. Even your Unity Church is the outcome of that unconscious guiding, that you have to become the collective being. And this collective being is placed here at the Vishuddhi Chakra, which is important because it has got 16 subplexuses, and that controls all our lymphatic systems and our ears, eyes, nose, and all these important things, and neck also. Also from here arises the ego and the superego, which is shown from there, but actually they start coming up from here. When man raised his head from animal stage like this center started developing in a very peculiar way. And in that condition, this ego and superego started evolving and forming a cup-like thing. About this I'm going to tell you tomorrow, all about these centers and about the chakras and all that. But today I want to tell you about the truth. The truth as it is that God loved us. In His divine love, He created us. And first thing that He has produced, or first thing that He created for us, is His divine love, this all-pervading power. And that divine power also resided within us as this Kundalini. Now this power within us is the power of desire to be one with God, which is not yet manifested. It is called as a sleeping desire, or we can say a sleeping energy, because it has not yet manifested. Supposing I create a machinery and do not put to the mains, it doesn't work. So though I have put all my effort and everything to create the machinery, unless and until I put it to the mains, it is still in a sleeping state. So it is also called as a residual energy, meaning it has created the whole universe of human beings, but it has not been yet manifested. That's why it is called as a residual energy. This energy is within us. Now, I would say that when I say something to you, or if I tell you something, you should not also take me for granted, because I may be telling you lies, possibly. But that doesn't mean you should deny me. Like a scientist, you must have an open mind. When you come here, it's a hypothesis for you. And once the hypothesis is proved, then you have to accept it. And that's what one should come with, that attitude. I would not say that people have ego or rationality too much, but it should be logical. Logically, you must reach a point to understand that there are many things we do not understand. For example, medical science cannot explain that the law is the health of a person or a human being as he is always reacts to any foreign thing that enters into the body, anything that enters into the body. And when a lady conceives, the fetus is not thrown out. Not only, but it is nurtured and thrown out at the right time when it should be, when it is perfectly matured enough to get out from the mother's womb. How it happens, they cannot explain. Even they say that acetylcholine and adrenaline, these are two chemicals, ordinary chemicals, as you know, as all chemicals are. But in the human body, they cannot say why they augment and why they relax. They cannot explain the mode of action of these two. They cannot explain. Psychology, now take psychology. I mean, science has created the stage for Sahaja Yoga. It has created. Because they cannot jump onto it, so they have definitely created a stage from where somebody has to tell them how to jump. Psychology now, for example, Jung, a person of his caliber, went all out to find out what was universal unconscious. And he studied so many dreams and so many patients and found out that there is an universal unconscious which sends dreams, which gives us universal symbols. Whether you are in India or here or anywhere else, you get the same symbols. For example, he said that if you see a particular type of a triangle which is downward facing, the apex is downward, then it means that you will be murdered. If you see the same triangle upward, that means you will murder someone. So the unconscious is giving you a guidance. He also said very clearly how he treated some patients with this understanding, that there was a lady who came to see him and the daughter was with her, and she said that, I always dream, the daughter said that my mother is a witch, while my mother is very kind to me. I don't know how to understand this dream that says that my mother is a witch and she is just ruining me. So he studied her and he asked the mother, do you spoil your daughter very much? She said, yes, I give her lots of money and I give her everything and I give her all the freedom and I say, do what you like with yourself, I'm not bothered about her. And the daughter was very young, about 15 years of age. So the unconscious was giving the warning to the daughter, saying that do not take to these things. Be careful. If she's spoiling you, be careful. Then another dream, just to match with it, he said, there was a gentleman who always saw in his dream that he is bowing to his son, all the time bowing to his son. Like a king, the son was sitting and he was just going and bowing to him. So he came to him and told him, I don't know why I get such a dream. He said, what is your relation with your son? He said, the son is just, I would say, because he was born to my first wife and my second wife is against him and there's not good relationship, and you see, I cannot afford to be very friendly with him and all sorts of things. The relationship was not so good. So then he said, that's the thing, that your son is very much liked by God. He is a saint, he is a good person, and while you are troubling him, so the unconscious is giving you all the time the information that you just don't do that. And that's how he calculated what kind of a symbol expresses what. And it was amazing, though he got his realization very late in life, the way he discovered that there is universal unconscious. This universal unconscious is nothing but this all-pervading power. Now it is unconscious, means it is not in our central nervous system. We are not conscious of it. So we have to be conscious of it. Now how do we get conscious of it? Is that first we have to get connected to our spirit, because spirit is the expression of that universal unconscious within us. Or you can say the link. Unless and until you get your self-realization, you cannot be linked. You cannot be linked with this universal power which is within us as Kundalini and which is without all over. It is most surprising to understand that God, who has created us with such care, with such love, especially as a human being, which is the most beautiful thing God has created. We may not think so. We may not. We may have self-pity, we may have guilt, all these nonsensical ideas, but you don't know. You are special things that God has created. And on top of that, the highest human beings are not these politicians or these great successes and geniuses and all that, but who? These are the seekers. Because they have to enter into the kingdom of God. It is their right first to enter into the kingdom of God. They are a very, very special category. And this is very well described by a great poet, William Blake, who says that these are men of God. And he described the modern times and Sahaja Yoga very well. He says these men of God will be born in those days and they will become prophets. And they will have powers to make other prophets. And that's the thing is, then when you go to any seeking or anyone, you must know, have you become your own master? You must have the mastery. Supposing you want to learn a car driving, a simple thing like that, you should know how to drive the car. Supposing you go to somebody for any seeking, you must know, have you been able to drive yourself all right towards it? For example, I've seen people who just start jumping. When I went to India, there was a gentleman who was sitting and he put his feet forward like that. So people said, you can't put your feet towards mother, that's not proper. He said, oh, if I put my feet backwards, I will start jumping like a frog. I said, how? Why? What has happened to you? He said, my Kundalini is awakened by Guru, and he says that after Kundalini is awakened, you start jumping like a frog. And he showed me in the book, this fellow had written that you start jumping like a frog. Can you imagine? It was written in the book. I said, are you going to become now frogs or earthworms? Are you going to jump like that, like a monkey or a frog? Are you going to bark like a dog? You are going to become a superhuman being. You are not going to be driven by these forces. These are all negative forces which control you and make you mad like this. You have to understand everything when you get your realization, every word of it. It's so logical, it's so practical, as he says. It is so practical and it is so wonderful. Govind Brown, who came here first, was one of the first Sahaja Yogis I had in London. And you know, English people are rather difficult to crack. I mean, rather difficult people, but they are first class. I mean, that's a good thing because they do not get exposed to so many nonsenses that some people who are open can get to. And once they get realization, they are really top class people. Now this gentleman, when he got realization, He said, Mother, you said we can be collectively conscious. I can't believe it. How can I become? I said, if I tell you about the television, you won't believe it till I put it to the mains. You see, anybody will think it's just a box. But you are a great instrument and you have started working. He said, all right, I'm rather worried about my father. He didn't telephone to me all these days. I said, all right, you can telephone to him and find out. I said, first of all, see your vibrations. He said, Mother, I'm getting a burning here, a terrible burning. Now, these are the centers for your father, right-hand side. These are the centers. So, I said, all right, that means this center, that means he must be down with very bad bronchitis. He telephoned and the mother came in. And she said, I'm sorry, your father is down with very bad bronchitis. The telecommunication, this divine power, knows everything, it understands everything, it knows you very well because it has created you. It organizes everything, it cooperates everything, it puts everything into integration, it works out everything. It works out so many things, even material things it works out. Even getting a ticket it will work out. It's so helpful. All the angels are there. Just to see all that, to witness it itself is so great. From lowest to the highest, it works out everything for you. And the whole, the sum total, the unity of it is that it is love. So it is so kind, it is so compassionate, it looks after you. It, you see, hobnobs with you a little bit, you see, gives you a little lesson here and there. But it never allows you to be ruined. It gives you little lessons if you do wrong. It teaches you a little bit, then again it brings you back. It's so loving, so kind, especially for people who are just realized, are like small little children, like seedlings. It looks after. It guides you very much. It helps you so much. It's such a wonderful thing to be with it. And the whole thing looks like a fun, like a drama. I went to see a gentleman called Herman in New York, and he had 3 children born realized. One was about 7, another was about 5, and the little one was about 3 years. And all one better than the other with sparkling eyes just waiting for me. And when I reached there, they said, Mother, aren't there three eyes we have got? I said, yes, where? One here, and one there. And Daddy doesn't believe me. And this, one of the gurus has told him wrong, that there's only one eye. No, there are 3, and there are 3 centers here actually. And they argue with their father, and they said, Mother, aren't you tired? I said, why? We are tired now, because we are watching this story a bit too much. It should finish now. Just imagine. Small children of 7 years and 5 years are talking like this. My own grandchildren are realized souls, and they are so wonderful that the one who was 3 years of age went to school, and everywhere these days they are selling God. So in the school they gave there some paper saying that the paper was saying so that if you come to a particular hotel and pay about 100 rupees, you can get your transformation. So she looked at me, she said, transformation is not possible till you get your Kundalini up there, up here. I said, it's true, it has to happen. But they are saying like this. But the elder one says it is not possible. They are saying you can give a course. How can you give you course? My father has done 14 courses, his Kundalini has not risen as yet. If by courses, if you can raise the Kundalini, then my father's Kundalini should have been there. You see, they understand these things so clearly, so clearly. If you talk to them, you'll be amazed. The another granddaughter of mine, she was 5 years of age, and she went to Ladakh with her father. And then she saw one Lama sitting like this with a big dress he was wearing, and she told me he was wearing a maxi. She couldn't understand that that was the dress of a saint, so-called. So she went there and she looked at him, and she couldn't bear when you see, everybody was touching his feet, and the father went and touched his feet, and when mother went and touched his feet, she just went and stood before him. And she said, you are not even a realized soul. In Hindi they say part. You are not even a realized soul. What do you mean by getting everybody salutes? You are not even a realized soul, and you have no business to do that. She stood up like this. And these two, my daughter and son-in-law, were so embarrassed. She said, you get down from there. You are not a realized soul. You should not allow anybody to touch your feet. Can you imagine a 5-year-old child saying that? It happens. These children are coming up. Within 10 years, see, they are the edifice. They are the complete structure. But you are the foundations of this great work. You are the foundations. So you must get your realization. That's the main thing. You must get your realization. Once you get realization, all other things which are described, that what I solve your alcoholism and other problems like mental stress and all that goes without saying. You see, once you get your realization, everything will work out. So first of all, you must get your realization. And as you get realized, all these problems get mostly solved by themselves. Because why do we take to alcoholism or to drugs? Either for seeking or for escaping. Because you are so bored with yourself and with others that you take to these things. Absolutism is the expression of boredom. You don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know why are you here, why you are existing, why these boring people are around you. You just get fed up with it. And you are bored with the matter. You don't understand now. You have bought your Hoover, you have bought your fridge, you have bought your house. Now what to do? Now what to buy? So that's how you start taking to these things. And you develop these habits then, because everything forms a habit. Anything material forms a habit. Even a chair can give you a habit that you can't sit on the ground. So these things form a habit and you start becoming habituated, and that's how you get into it. But as soon as you find your spirit, you know you are beauty. You are so enjoyable. The whole thing is such a fun because you become a witness. And then these things drop out, you just forget about it. You just forget about it. You don't have to remember that you have to take any drugs. And some people told us that, Mother, we just forgot and the drug was lying with us and we forgot that we were druggists and chemists. They were just relieved of that problem. And how we cure the cancer, how we cure other diseases, and how imbalances work out within us, all these things I will tell you tomorrow and explain to you in all details. But just now is a very great day of Lalita Panchami in India. We say that this is the first day of the Holy Ghost permeating this power all over. And it's a very great day. When I came to Houston, the vibrations were so great. I said, oh God, this is the place where something has to happen. And I'm very anxious that you first get your realization and then we'll talk about it. Because if you come in this room, there's darkness and you are blind, you can't see anything. What's the use of explaining any color or anything? First let us have the eyes, let us have the light, and then we'll talk about it. It's much easier to talk about that. But in any case, I would like you to ask me some questions about this part of the lecture. May God bless you all.
Any questions?
None. They are real seekers.
Yes.
I've been feeling that for quite a while. Last year, and then again, and I can write, I can hear. I like the voice. My little daughter, too.
She says she's feeling it, she thinks.
Yes, yes, I know you are great people over here. You must feel it. It's very, very good. I know you are feeling it. It's tremendous. It's tremendous. I'm just one with you. It should happen to all of you. It will take hardly any time. But don't be adamant like small children are, I won't eat, you see. If you are hungry, you will just have it. I have done the cooking, you just have it and enjoy it. You don't have to bother as to how I've done it. I've really done it, no doubt. Yes, please.
He says when the Holy Spirit comes down, he says, in fact, does that just happen one time? He's not seen that it's arising.
All right. You see, the whole working of this is the other way round. First, this Kundalini rises, you see, above. Because, you see, when you put your hands towards me, or anybody who is a realized soul who knows the job, you see, she knows because she understands everything. So the information goes through your fingers, because these fingers are actually sleeping centers. The manifestation, the gross manifestation of these centers. So the information goes down to her there. And then she rises, just like a primule or a sprouting in a seed. You see, she rises. As you put a seed in the mother earth, the seed knows, and the seed starts sprouting. In the same way, she sprouts. And this germinating power first rises. Now this one, as I'm going to tell you all about it tomorrow, very much clearly, but maybe one thread out of it might be able to pierce through. Because if there is problem in the centers, if there's any physical, emotional, mental, any problem, then the centers are constricted. Then she just goes gradually and awakens one center after another, expands it. And she makes this bone become soft, just like a child. As Christ has said, you have to become children to enter into the kingdom of God. This bone really becomes softer. And this becomes softer, and through that she pierces. And you can start feeling the cool breeze in the first shot. You start feeling the cool breeze in the first shot. Then what happens when she pierces? This all-pervading power starts pouring down through that, and it goes on falling on both the systems here, which I will explain tomorrow, by which these centers also expand. So the system is built in this way that first this has to open. When it opens, then this all-pervading power falls on these two channels, which manifest actually left and right sympathetic nervous system, which I'll explain to you tomorrow. And then by relaxation, by relaxing that, you will feel relaxed after that very much. The centers open out much more. They are thrown together. They open out. And then more threads of Kundalini can rise. So in the beginning is the sprouting takes place. And then some people, it is a very great experience. I have seen some people get it in such a big way. But then the Kundalini goes to attend to the problems of a person. But you know she's attending because you can feel it on your fingers. You can feel the throbbing. Supposing you have a liver problem, she'll go and throb there. And you can see the throbbing. You can actually with naked eye see the throbbing there also in some people. If there's an obstruction in the second center or in the third center, then you can see the actual throbbing just like a heart, lup, dup, it goes on. You can feel it with the stethoscope also, the rising throbbing. And here also you can feel the throbbing. When it comes with your hands, you can, with your fingers you can feel the throbbing. And then that throbbing stops when she pierces through. But she can come down to look after other centers. And then we have to learn, then the divine technique has to be learned, how to keep it raised, how to increase it, how to grow. Before realization, there is no technique. There is no technique. Once you have got the seedling, then you have the technique how to make it grow. Before that, there's no technique. It's a living process. It's all built in. You are just pushed through. For example, in machine, as I said, is a very good example. You put it through. But supposing there is something wrong with the plug or something wrong, then the little bit you have to correct it. Then you take a screw and screw it up. But you know everything then how to screw it up, how to screw, which bolt is missing, whatever is done. It's very simple. And that technique one has to learn, which is not at all difficult. Anybody knows it because you just know. Wherever the Kundalini is stopped, immediately you say it is stopped. Like people will come and say, Mother, my Agya is caught. So I'll say, all right. It means that I've got ego. If Agya is caught, that means you have got ego. But that person won't say that I've caught up with my ego, such a big ego is on my head, but they will say that, Mother, my Agya is caught. Now this is the center of Christ, which is a very important center, about which I will be telling you tomorrow, which is very important, which we have missed the point, that he is to be awakened within us. He is to be awakened. Unless and until he is awakened, we cannot enter into the limbic area. Our attention cannot enter into it. And that awakening takes place through the Kundalini's awakening. She enlightens them. So the whole mechanism I'll explain to you tomorrow, and you will see the whole thing working it out. All right?
Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to relate an experience which I've had that I found very interesting. Am I able to be heard by everybody here?
He's just going to tell everybody an experience and you.
My voice here.
All right.
All right, thank you. Well, I was in an ecstatic moment one night. I had this experience where I was able to verbalize a sound, which came out as a jumble. In other words, this was a jumble to begin with, and I could pronounce the sound through my mind. at this and noticed how it looked like a jumble and was able to interpret this into an actual combination of words. I've never had this experience before, and I felt like I was getting in touch with myself. But the question seems to arise now, well, is this an experience with another mind, or am I in contact with my higher self?
Yes, that's it.
Or both, perhaps.
You know what happens? You become thoughtlessly aware because Christ is awakened. If Christ is awakened within you, here you see the point is very important. He sucks your ego and superego. He sucks your conditioning. He sucks your karmas on which these gurus are making money nowadays. You see, they tell you, these are your karmas, you have to suffer. Then why are they there? You see, this thing, if people had told Indians, it would have been a very different history. But the Christians who went to India, I mean, they were very funny people. You see, they never told this fact that Christ is to be awakened at Agya Chakra because they were just waiting for this. They knew that this has to happen. When this happens, what happens? You become thoughtlessly aware. There's peace. That's the first thing that happens. That's in Sanskrit called as Nirvichar Samadhi. They say it's the most difficult thing. I don't think it's most difficult. I mean, if you don't put seed in the motherland, naturally to pull out the seed is very difficult, isn't it? But otherwise it's so natural and built in. So it happens. That is not another mind. Is the thoughtless awareness where you are beyond the mind. The English language doesn't have a proper concept of a mind. I don't know whether they mean it the intellect or they mean as the emotions, because mental patience and all these words they use. But if you mean mind by intelligence or by what you call awareness, it goes beyond this awareness, human awareness, and takes you to another awareness called as thoughtless awareness. That is enlightened awareness. Even with this, you can cure people. Even with this. But once it jets out, and once it is stationed, that's the second stage in which you can give awakening to others. Just like this, under your finger it will. You'll see it moving. You can do it from tomorrow. Today if you get realization, yes, you can do it. You just feel it here. It's there. Yeah, most of you have got it. Just see.
Feel it as a fine stream coming upwards from the top of your head.
Put your right hand towards me, perhaps. Heat? Yes, some heat has to come out because lots of frictions are inside. Like this. You put another hand towards me like that. Heat has to come, you see, because there is a lot of frictions. But heat is jetting out. Now there's a chimney created. That's all that you should accept that part. Still out. It will go out. You put your left hand towards me and right hand there. Left hand. But you can put both the hands towards me. Now, it's very simple. By asking few questions you can achieve. Close your eyes. Just close your eyes. And put your left hand towards me. And right hand on your heart, because the spirit resides in the heart. And now, ask a question. Mother, am I the spirit? Just ask the question. In your heart you can ask. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask thrice. Put the hand like this, as if you are asking for something, like this. Not like that, but like this. Say, Mother, am I the spirit? Keep your eyes closed. Ask a question in your heart. Am I the spirit? Then you can ask another question. Mother, am I my own guru? Ask 3 times. You will feel a little cool. Now put another hand towards me, closing your eyes, and just say, Mother, I forgive everyone. That is very important. We must forgive. Just say that. Saying is very easy. Actually, what do? We do nothing. It's a myth. When we say we forgive, we just do nothing. When we say we don't forgive, we torture ourselves for others. Why should we torture ourselves? We should say we forgive everyone. So we have no loads on ourselves. This is a self-torture system. Now say, Mother, we forgive everyone. Say it again and again. It will be a good idea to relieve you of the problems. Now again put your right hand on your heart and ask a question. Mother, am I my own guru? Am I my own master? Am I my own teacher? Because you become. You become your own teacher. Once you become that discretion power, you don't have to ask anyone, you know it yourself. Now, another problem which Western people have is to feel guilty. I don't know from where it has come. Why should you feel guilty or why should you suffer? Christ has suffered for you, isn't it? Or there is something left for you to suffer. Why should you suffer? Why should you feel guilty? He's there to look after you. He's already promised that all your sins, blasphemy, everything will be forgiven. So just say, Mother, I am not guilty. Really say it thrice. That's very important. Just say, Mother, I am not guilty. This is self-torture again, to say that I am guilty. What's the use of feeling that you are guilty? The whole system is wrong. To torture yourselves all the time saying that you are guilty. You are not guilty. Christ has suffered for you. You don't have to suffer. If you ask for sufferings, you will have them. So you have to say that, Mother, I am not guilty. Now last of all, you have to say, Mother, please give me my realization. You have to ask for it. Nobody can force it on you. It's your freedom. If you want it, you can have it. If you don't want to have it, you can just don't have it. For somebody asked me very mischievously, how do we go to hell? I said, take 2 running jumps and you can go there. It's very simple. So, if you want to have realization, just say, Mother, I want to have realization. Please give me my self-realization. You have to be humble about it. You are asking for the ultimate. It will just work out. Now don't think about it, just it will go beyond thinking. You just become thoughtlessly aware. It will work out. Now feel your, on the right hand. With the right hand you can feel your food. Ask for it. Mother, please give me my realization. I cannot challenge your freedom. That's given to you. In your glory of freedom, you should ask for a greater freedom, for a greater liberation, a real liberation. See? It's there. You start first feeling on the head, then you start feeling on the hands also. Just keep it like this for a while. Close your eyes. It will work out. It will work out. Heart. You have to still ask the question, Mother, am I the spirit? And also to say that if we have done any mistake in our seeking, please forgive. Without feeling guilty, of course, without feeling guilty. Don't feel guilty. That's a big problem. And also know that God is responsible for you. He has to be responsible about His creation, and He has to come in a very special way to give you realization. He has to save His creation. He has to save you. You are His creation. All right? Got it? All of you? Those who didn't get also will get it. Slowly. See, like one fruit becomes, then another becomes. It's like that. It's very happy. Yes. You can feel each other also. You can feel each other's vibration. It works out. Close your eyes and enjoy. Closing of the eyes is important because when the Kundalini rises, see the pupils of they dilate of the eyes. So it's better to keep the eyes closed. Otherwise the Kundalini may not rise. It's just the opposite of mesmerism. Good. You have found it. Now to believe that you have found it is very difficult because Guru shopping is on in America, I think. You see, they are all busy shopping, and this is a temple you enter into. And then you can't believe this is a temple, still the Guru shopping is on. So now you have to stop this rat race for 1 minute and see for yourself. You've got it. Otherwise you will not grow. You have to become your own Guru. You don't have to go to anybody else. It's you who knows everything now. Will know gradually. You will be amazed how much you know. Like in America, they said, Mother, are your disciples or scholars? I said, none. They said, they are such scholars, they know about so many things. I said, you become the knowledge. Truth is the knowledge. You become the knowledge. It just becomes. Got it. Those who haven't got can raise their hand. Some of the Sahaj Yogis can go and help them also. It's possible. They can talk to you. It's better to talk to them. Not to feel bad. Because some people don't get it if they have physical problem, if they have mental problem. Doesn't matter. If those who are not well, it's better to be honest about it because you must get it. It is your right to have it. All right. Now, let's see. Can you go and help them? Can they come on the stage? I can work it out. Those who haven't got it. How many are there?
Absolutely. There's no room between the
You see, so if they could come here on the stage and be seated here or in the front line, then we can work it out. You must get it. You must get it, all of you.
There's no room between the
If you can be in the front line.
If you haven't felt it, just sit on
On the chairs will be all right. They will work it out. On the chairs.
just a few at a time then for the moment.
Yes, sit down anywhere. They can come round and see for yourself.
Sit on the stage is probably easiest.
Anywhere. I would like to see all of them because those who are realized are really great, I feel that way. And also those who have to get realization. Now can we remove this?
All of you should just...
You can sit in the front line also. Ah.
So we'll just put our attention on you, and if there's a blockage, we'll just simply work on it. There are not many of us here, so it will probably work.
Better be here, yes. Can you get the light? I'll work out with the light, maybe. St. Michael's method, this one is, which you will also learn very soon. The lights are too many, though. Just watch me. Watch my hand, please. Without thinking. Just watch my hand without thinking. Can you sit facing, please? You can sit on the chair. Put your hand straight. You got it. Just see him, the second person. This one, this second person.
Yes.
He's got it. See, this one, he's also got it. You may not feel today, but you see, we can feel it. Then tomorrow you can feel it yourself. Because of the sensitivity in the hands, may not be so good. You got it too. You got it. Yes, I know. Then sit down. Those who have got it should sit down, sit back, because we'll have to get one by one. Got it. See yourself. Haven't you? Just feel it. Higher. Got it. All right. You got it. Just put both the hands towards me. Like this. Like this. Yeah. See? All right? Got it now? All right. Right. You have got it also. Can you feel it? Just see. Top of your head. Are you feeling? Not on the head? Just see her. You got it also now. You got it now. Watch your hands. Watch your head also. You got it. Just see yourself.
Many of them have come up the front only to be closer to you.
Is it? Is that the thing? I would like to be closer to you also. Is it? Most of you have got it. It's got it in the Nabi. Those who haven't really got it. Just see this gentleman behind the thing, he's got it. You only. Just see him. No. This one with a brown. This gentleman, yeah.
Yes.
He's got it.
You're not feeling
Yeah. He too has. The one who...
You do feel it.
Yes, you can feel it. Just feel it. You see, it's a very small thread that is very subtle. Some people get it in a big way, but it's very subtle. Now. All right? Now, this gentleman. What about you? Just put your hands like this. Let's see. Watch me. Watch me here. Got it now. All right? It's very simple. Just for feeling it. Start now. What about you? Feeling it or not? The Nabi. You have been to some gurus or someone? No one. Work out. You got it. All right? You didn't go to any spiritualist, did you?
I went to a Swami for reading a horoscope once.
They can be very dangerous also, this spiritualist. I'll tell about all of these people tomorrow. You got it there, with the red. All right? Good. One by one, how you get it. See now, everybody has to get it. Everybody is going to get it. All of you are going to get it. So don't be worried. Just don't be worried. That's the main point. She should get it. So much like bamboo.
Yes,
There.
You're not feeling it above your head. Just put your right hand above it. Right up.
Yes, most of you have got it.
Sounds good, right?
Yes. Now? Got it?
Feels warm.
Warm will go away. It will become cool. It has opened out. You see, you never feel warm coming out from here. No better. See, the more problem is. Now, better? You got it too. Now just feel it. You've got it. All right? It's great. Look at that, how it's happening. Just like, what about you? Did you feel there? No. Just see him. It will work out. Just watch my hand. Don't think about it, all right? It is beyond. It triggers into the space. What? Not yet. All right, we'll work it out. Somebody here, can you see Gabe? This side.
Should be cool.
Should be cool. It will cool down. It will cool down a little bit. You put your left hand on your liver. This side. Yes. Now put your right hand towards me. Cool. All right. Stop. Right? You have a little liver problem. Liver. Little liver. You see?
I have in this area. I think I'm blocked.
What is happening?
Sometimes I have small, like a fullness here.
Is it?
Fullness.
That's the heart. Now put your right hand and go on saying with your left hand towards me that without feeling guilty, Mother, please forgive me if I've done any mistakes, and say that I am the spirit. If you just say that, it will work out. All right?
Right. Now?
Just say. Go on saying. She's got it at the end there. All right?
Well, he's got it, but he's not feeling it very
Now he'll feel it. He'll feel it. See, it takes time because our fingers are not used to this. No? We have not felt it before.
I had hepatitis.
I told you you had liver. That's why. That's why the heat is there. Doesn't matter. The heat is going out. It's good. It's clearing out. Yes. It's so clear. You don't have to tell me what you suffer from. I just know. All right? And you will know too. Are you feeling? You have pain? You have pain in the back? All right. Not now. All right? Good. Most of the, you've got it now. What about you? Not yet. Yes, he's got it. The lady behind. You got it? Did you feel? Just try to feel it. It's there. It's subtle, very subtle. He's got it. What about you have got it now? Don't be worried now. Put your hands like this. Got it? He's got it now. It's cooler. See, much cooler, see?
Yes.
It was hepatitis. It was hepatitis. I could see that. You see? And the hepatitis is cured as well with that. The heat had to go away. You see, too much accumulation of heat in the liver. You see, liver is the one which sorts out your all poisons, you see?
Many years ago.
But that shows. Tomorrow I'll be telling you all about diseases and things like that, and if there are any doctors, it will be a good idea for them to come and see. What about you, my chap? Huh?
Hypoglycemia.
Now, can you put your left hand on your navel? Left hand, yes. He's got it.
He's got very bad damage here and here, Mother, from a guru, I think.
Which guru you been to? Huh?
Maharishi.
Sakshat Narakasura Mardini, Sakshat Narakasura Mardini, Sakshat Narakasura Mardini. You must understand, even my child, it's very simple to find out these things, isn't it? He's going to teach you to fly. Are we going to become birds now? Why not make him fly himself? Put him on that leaning tower of Pisa. That's the best. If he can fly even 1 inch, you can go to him. Horrible people, they tell you all stories.
It's blocking here and here.
All right, just Sakshat Narakasura Mardini, Sakshat Narakasura Mardini, Sakshat. Keep your eyes open, my child. Just say, put your right hand on your heart and say, Mother, I'm sorry for being. You see, after all, you are a seeker. So you have made mistakes, it's all. All right?
Feeling it now? The hand? Put your right hand above your head and scoff.
This is horrible, I tell you. He's given epilepsy to people, you won't believe. Epilepsy to people. The head of their academy in Scotland came to me with epilepsy. His daughter, his wife, all of them got epilepsy. Horrid person. If you want to read about him, this lady went to some News of the World, and she's published all about it. Horrible people. Now sit comfortably. Such a seeker. You'll get it, don't you worry.
No, he's felt it.
They are going to get it. Whatever, let them try. I know all their tricks and traits. All right? Got it. Now, all right. Now close your eye. Enjoy yourself. Yes, please.
She says, what is the sensation when you hold your hand above your head?
You get a cool breeze and just explain, yeah.
Cool breeze coming up from the top of
Like
the
a
head,
jet.
as if hitting in the middle of the palm of the hand. It strikes in the middle of the palm of the hand. And you'll feel it as a gentle...
Yes, heat would be there in the beginning. You see, the heat of the body has to come out. He's all right now.
Come out.
This gentleman.
Come.
You just see this gentleman. Are you better?
It's not argument.
It's what I get. You better forgive. Better forgive everyone. All right? Just forgive. Just forgive. Start.
Straight away.
Keep your eyes open. He's got an agya. Still. Watch me here. All right?
Feeling it now?
The back up. She's got it? She's felt it. Now, who have not felt? This gentleman, look after him. It's very good. Are you a science student? Are you a science student? No, then what? What have you studied?
Put your right hand above your head.
Contractor.
You feeling it now? In the middle of your palm.
Let him ask builder of the builders. You see, that maybe the one thing might be helping. All right?
Oh, don't worry. It's
Good.
Do you smoke? Ah, that's the reason.
Smoke. All right, keep it down. Keep it out. That's all. You won't smoke now anymore. All right. Got it? All right? With a packet it was hiding there. He's found it. As soon as he took out the packet, you see, no. Otherwise he was breathing heavily. See? Good. Great. So simple. You'll give up. Just put in little willpower. Think of me at that time. It will go away. All right? Good. You too, you have a liver problem? You put your left hand on the liver. I'll tell you tomorrow about livers, everything, how to get it all right on that side. On the yes. Because I'll tell you why you get livers also. Everything. Tomorrow. I hope you'll bring a paper and a pencil also to note down a few points. And also I think they can give you my tapes later on if you want to have the tapes. Good. All right? Throw away this in the sea. Just throw away. It will go away. It will go. Are you all right? Did you feel? This gentleman. Did you feel? Not yet. All right. Those who have not yet felt, again raise your hands. Just raise your hands.
If you have not felt it, raise your hand.
You must be.
The
Still
others,
at the back.
please just move back and let the others come.
Yes,
please.
yes. Those who have not. Let others come in.
Everybody should feel it. It's your own.
It's your own. Those who have not felt, come along. Come along. Yes, he's great. Yes.
You can't feel it. He's caught it again.
Again, you got it. Now
keeps
come along.
coming up and down.
Yes, come down. Come here. I'll tell you what. You turn round. Turn round. Now you put your hands.
Put your hands up.
Now your eyesight has to improve also. Now you're feeling?
Don't think about it, love. Just...
Nabi. Now are you feeling? Cast it again, huh? Sit down. We'll see what's catching. Sit down facing me.
Turn around.
Come here. With this now. Close your eyes. Did you feel?
When I asked him to forgive, it came up, Mother.
You have to forgive. With whom are you angry in this childhood? Huh? All right. Now you just put your hand down there and you say that, Mother, I forgive everyone. Just forgive, 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 forgive. Now you got it. Are you angry? Still?
No, I can feel it
Now feel it now. Don't be angry with anyone. All right? You have to forgive. Now feel it. Now that's it. When you start, see now, you got it again?
I know, you have it up here.
Not there. Now see. Children are so good. It's all right. It will work out. You must forgive. Right? Fully forgive. It will work out. All right? Good.
Feeling it now?
No.
Again he remembers something. What are you remembering about? You have to forgive. You have to forgive. With whom are you angry? Are you all right? Just see. Just put your hands towards me. You are good. You got it. Huh? Now?
No, okay. I'll get it up.